Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Today is Monday, the 1st day of September 2025. It is in the news that the pro-Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa gets 6-year sentence in Finland for terrorism-related offenses. I think it's important for you to know that the reason why he was sentenced to 6 years is not because of terrorism-related offenses alone, but also for tax evasion and also for violation of a Lawyers Act. This was contained in the report released by the BBC. That is the first thing. And the second thing I want you to know there is that the duration of the sentence, as we know, is 6 years. But this is not the 6 years that is being translated, especially in the countries in Africa. In Finland, when you get 6 years term, I think it is both the day and the night. So he has been sentenced for 3 years. And his lawyer said that this sentence will be appealed. And in these 3 years that he was sentenced now, he has still almost 9 months. So if the lawyer did not appeal the case, I think he will be there for 2 years and some months now. So that is the issue about the preamble of this breaking news that Simon Ekpa has been sentenced to 6 years imprisonment. According to the prosecutor of the government of the Finland, they said that the Simon has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence for southeastern Nigeria under the name Biafra. And this is the details of the news. The Pajang District Court in Finland has sentenced Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison on terrorism charges, the BBC report. According to the court decision, Ekpa was found guilty of inciting terrorism in Nigeria. He was also said to have promoted the independence of Biafra region through illegal means between 2021 and 2024. Now, out of the context. At the time, this morning, I saw a lot of people saying that Finland government has, made the agitation of Biafra to be illegal in European Union and so on and so forth. I think that is not true. What the court is saying is that he was also said to have promoted the independence of the Biafra region through illegal means between 2021 and 2024. Okay, so they are not saying that he's promoting the Biafra freedom or restoration movement, something like that, that it is illegal. So they said he is promoting it in illegal ways. So what are the illegal ways? I think the few things I was able to capture that the government of the Finland said is that they were able to get the receipts of some weapons, but I don't know, something like that. I don't understand the language very well, but you can get the document and translate it by yourself. Now it says others accusation included aggravated tax fraud and violation of the Lawyers Act. See, from the beginning of this video, I made it clear that it's not only the Terrorism Act that made them to sentence Simon, but also for tax. They call it tax fraud, but that is when you evade tax. Maybe you are getting more money than the tax you declared and you are paying. And also the violation of Lawyers Act. I think you have to be a lawyer to violate the Lawyers Act. So these are the three issues that the prosecutors of the Finland government brought before the court. In May, there was a news everywhere that the trial of Simon Ekpa over the alleged terrorism commenced in Finland. He was accused of participating in a terrorist organization and publicly inciting crimes for terrorist purposes. I think it's not fair calling IPOB a terrorist organization. And IPOB has never been a terrorist organization in anywhere, any country apart from Nigeria. And when IPOB was designated as terrorist organization, the reason why they did that was out of fear. I don't think there is any tangible reason like insecurity or people are carrying gun. No. So for Finland court to say that it's a member of terrorist organization, I don't know anyway, but I don't think whether they are referring to IPOB or not. Now, it continues that it will be recalled that the Finnish police investigated the case in collaboration with Nigerian authorities. Ekpa appeared before the Pajang District Court. According to prosecutors, he has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence for southeastern Nigeria under the name Biafra. They allege that the activity conducted online and coordinated from Finland may constitute terrorism under Finnish law. So this is another clear, place and stance of the Finland government that they said that the online activities of Mr. Simon Ekpa violates the Finnish law. That is the law in Finland. And what may be the activities on social media they are talking about? I think maybe it's because of a lot of sharing of dead bodies, sharing of scenes where terrorism happened, and most of the time on Twitter, I see so many posts sometimes. Mr. Simon will claim responsibility of that, even though he did not do it, even though he do it. But I don't see how people see that. But I think that is what they are referring to. Prosecutors of the Finland government demanded a 6-year prison sentence for Mr. Simon. And this is what he said. We have a great deal of evidence regarding this individual online activities and communication, says State Prosecutor Samsa Hakala. At the pretrial hearing, Simon Ekpa's lawyer, Karanda Gomeros, raised concerns about the reliability of information coming from Nigeria. And there in May, many news outlets reported that Finland's National Prosecution Authority charged Nigerian Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa with inciting terrorism online. The prosecution authority, in a statement, accused Ekpa, who is also a Finnish citizen, of public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participation in the activities of a terrorist group, according to AFP. The prosecutors said Ekpa, a self-acclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile, committed the offense in Lahti, a city in southern Finland, between 2021 and 2024. AFP reported that while Finnish authorities did not name the individual in the official statement, a Finnish public broadcaster, YLA, called Yande, confirmed the suspect as Ekpa, a dual Finnish-Nigerian national who has drawn international attention for his outspoken campaign to establish an independent Biafra state in southeastern Nigeria. Ekpa was arrested and detained by Finnish police in November 2024. According to the prosecution authority, he has remained in custody and denied all charges. The prosecution alleged that Ekpa's online activities incited acts of violence in Nigeria under the guise of pro-Biafra agitation. The charges stemmed from his prominent role in a faction of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a separatist group proscribed as a terrorist organization in 2017 by the former President Muhammadu Buhari-led Nigerian government. Now, out of the article, this is another issue. You see, sometimes I wonder if any place on earth will also regard IPOB that Buhari proscribed as terrorist organization. In the face of the reality that the Nigerian government has been accused, even yesterday now, Rufai was saying it on Chinese television, that the government is sponsoring, insecurity by paying the terrorists and so on and so forth. But people still believe that IPOB is still a terrorist organization. Anyway, maybe it's not the IPOB I know, it is IPOB that is being sponsored by the Nigerian government to carry arms and all those things. Maybe. Now, it continues that IPOB has long pushed for secession of the Igbo-dominated southeastern region of Nigeria, which was the center of a brutal civil war from 1967 to 1970, resulting in over 1 million deaths. Finnish authorities also investigated potential financial support for Ekpa's activities following his arrest in 2024. Police requested the detention of 4 individuals suspected of financing his operations. However, the prosecution authority confirmed that the charges against those individuals had been dropped due to insufficient evidence from the Nigerian state against them. So this is the base of the report that Simon has been sentenced, to 6 years imprisonment. That is 4 years, and he has stayed over 9 months now. So before this issue of arrest and everything, I want you to take a look at these videos where and when Simon was, the talk of the day in all social media that has dragged this attention of so many people in filing petitions and leading him to the 6 year sentence he have today. Take a listen.
Then a civil war was ensured, and suddenly there was unity. But most recently, one man that was termed and adjudicated as a terrorist in Nigeria, who is currently serving in Nigerian jail, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, started the movement in the name of IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, to actualize the dream of that secession. And suddenly you now have this man who is sitting in Finland, was able to leverage on social media platforms to continue to stir violence and encourage killings and destruction in that part of the country that have known no peace for so long time. Someone never leveraged on social media. He lived in Finland, he paid Finnish tax and do everything well in Finland, happily with his family, while causing trouble and making people here to be killing each other. When that happens again, he will carry the footages of the killings and publish on his social media handles.
But Mr. Garda, sorry, I mean, can I just jump in quickly? I mean, do you think this guy, Simon Ekpa, is working alone? Because there are some reports saying that he may have a sponsor, but that claim has not been substantiated. What do you think? I mean, are we talking about a guy on his own, or is he getting support from somewhere?
There is no way you will disconnect the wide-ranging network of this Biafra movement across the world. It is there. But one thing that surprises us is the fact that he is living in a self-acclaimed democratic country, a democratic model. Finland, and the country that Nigeria have a very strong strategic relationship with them. And this man is threatening to disrupt a democratic process in the coming election that is happening in just 7 days from today. He insisted that he will ensure that his activists are armed and they will go to the street, fight, destroy, and stop every other person from going to exercise their freedom of expression and voting. And this is the most democratic practice we have in Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria is one of the model of Western-style democracy. And this man is living in a Western country, disrupting a Western-style democracy in Nigeria, and the Finnish authority did not do it.
Why do you think that is, Adam? Why do you think Finnish authorities have done nothing about this guy, Simon Ekpa, who's essentially trying to run a separatist movement from his home in Finland to affect Nigeria just ahead of your presidential elections? Why is Finland doing nothing?
To be very frankly with you, personally, this is my personal view, and I think Western relationship with Nigeria has always been double standard. There has always been double standard. It appears that what Simon Ekpa is doing is either not threatening their interests or is serving their interests. So to that effect, they will fold their arms and let whatever it is that happen. But if they truly care about democracy, as they say, as they release in their press statement, as they want to support Nigeria to ensure that there is free and fair election where all Nigerians are going to vote peacefully, the best solution, the best thing they need to do is to make sure that that guy is apprehended and perhaps submitted down to Nigeria so that he can face the justice of Nigeria, since it is hurting Nigeria, not Finland.
All right, former Nigerian presidential contender Adamu Garba joining us live here on RT International. Great to see you. Thank you very much for your time.
Expose all those ones doing those things, especially people like Simon Ekpa. He's sitting down there in comfort. Some countries are encouraging him to do what he's doing to Nigeria, and we are here supporting him.
Focus, and I know they can defeat us if you are not careful. I am very sure. I don't have any doubt at all.
Everyone to understand that it is time we are now pushed to the wall and we are pushing back.
Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa wonders why Nigeria should continue to surrender its airwaves to Simon Ekpa.
I always want to bring up this issue of Simon Ekpa. I still don't know why we're not doing anything much about him. We can't allow him get the airspace against us. The country Finland is offering him, is giving him refuge. They shouldn't do that for whatever reason. And we have diplomatic means of going through those things. So I think Minister of Information can do so much. Simon Ekpa is sitting down there in comfort. Some countries are encouraging him to do what he's doing to Nigeria, and we are here supporting him. So people must desist. We must call what is wrong, wrong.
Ekpa, him sitting in Finland and causing confusion in Nigeria should not, is unacceptable. The Finnish government must stop him from doing, if they say he's their citizen, he's affecting another sovereign nation.
And I say, Muagabu their last bus stop na this struggle. Only open adoro genuine. Me go end you for this struggle. I told them, if you want to start, first of all, go to native doctor in your village. Go to Oracle in your village. Consult the Oracle. Bweri ewu ebini karaka. Kadi ora ko gwagi Simon Ekpa na ajenade.
The chief of Nnamdi Kanu, Paulo Simon Ekpentas. Umwero nobody. We did not hate Simon. We did not hate him. Behind he hate the character ya na speed yon agba.
Ika agugu uno. You the pusikita of Simon Ekpa. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Or you not leave him alone. You are going to leave Biafra, genuine Biafra people alone in IPOB. You go. What are you contributing in IPOB? What are you doing in IPOB? Okay, what is your effect in IPOB? Nothing. So you are going to leave us.
Okay. We also have a report from the Chief of Defense Staff telling the House of Reps that Simon Ekpa is frustrating their efforts in the Southeast. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff, that is Christopher Musa, General Christopher Musa, has accused self-proclaimed Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa of undermining the efforts of security forces in the Southeast. General Musa said this while heading a delegation of other service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police during their appearance before the House of Representatives on Tuesday, November 21. In the aftermath of Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, Ekpa had asserted his leadership in the agitation for the restoration of Biafra. I wouldn't want to call it the restoration of Biafra, but that's the word that's being used in the media, for Biafra. Agitation for Biafra, not restoration, but because it will seem as if it had been a country before. It is widely believed that Ekpa is allegedly providing financial support to armed groups operating in the Southeast who often enforce the sit-at-home order declared by Ekpa. Accusing Finland of safeguarding Ekpa, Musa urged the federal government to initiate diplomatic dialogue with the Finnish government and invite the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria to address the concerns surrounding the activities of the agitator. Musa acknowledged the efforts of the military and other security agencies in maintaining peace in the Southeast, but he expressed concern that Ekpa's comments and actions were undermining these efforts. When I was reading this story, I was just remembering the Umaru Diku incident. This is Nigeria, where we attempted to smuggle someone in a bag or a box back to Nigeria in those days. You don't mess with Nigeria. But how can someone stay in a foreign country and be instigating the people back home to be killing themselves? Because as far as I'm concerned, the Southeasterners are killing themselves because the bulk of the victims are Southeasterners as well. So how can someone be instigating people to fight a country and then to kill himself, and another country is shielding this person? Or is it that Nigeria is not doing enough to make sure that this person is brought to book or something? What other way do they define terrorism and terrorism financing and terrorism enabling? Is he not an enabler of terrorism in the southeast of Nigeria? So why is the Finnish government keeping him? There are a lot of questions that maybe we need to ask the diplomats to give us answers to so that we get to know why it is so difficult to get this man out of the way, get him arrested, put him in jail, or prosecute him, or one thing or the other that can be done to the man. So maybe we'll be asking, like I said, a diplomat or people who are in the know to tell us why it's so difficult. Because, okay, for instance, Nigerians have just been told why the Super Eagles coach cannot be fired. So we have seen reasons to them. So let's also know why Ekpa cannot be arrested or cannot be taken to court or something. Let's get to know so that we put our minds at rest. He's in a faraway land, but financing possibly the terrorism that is going on in the southeast. Those are people who are some of the most industrious people in Nigeria, if not the most industrious people in Nigeria. And Monday market used to be like the in thing when you're talking business. People were coming from every part of the
AIG, there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, it didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
want to tell you, I don't know what you are talking about. All I know...
You seem not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. Let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved, with Interpol. So I don't know I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, or who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear. So it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol.
Okay.
If one police and another exchange a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol.
Okay.
However, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were re-apprehended because we have their biometrics. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international, it will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice. On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
We'd sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently the Vice President of Interpol Africa region. Thank you, sir, for coming on the News Hour.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about the Southeast. We have a peculiar threat in the Southeast. Some people insisting that no one should go to work on Mondays, and they've been killing soldiers, especially. How do you assess the security situation in the Southeast relative to the capacity of the armed forces?
Yeah, the Southeast has its own challenges because of, again, the nature of the terrain. The terrain plays a vital role. It's thickly forested, so it affords you, somebody come and then you just be passing by and then so it makes it a bit more difficult. Even with your air, in fact, it makes it difficult more with air. Even when you fly abroad ahead, you hardly can see anything. So that makes it extremely, so we have to fine-tune the training of the troops there to jungle warfare. And jungle warfare has its own different challenges because you cannot use a lot of equipment they're using. You have to go fully dismounted. And because, again, those are their own areas, a lot of advantages they have that they've built up within. But we are getting so much, successes are really very encouraging. What is going on in that area is purely criminality. And I can tell you, when we've entered the bushes, what you see, I want Nigerians to understand that you see them killing, dismembering, removing parts of human beings. You see a lot of vehicles that they just see a vehicle, catch person and just kill him. There are a lot of graves all over, scattered all over the places. You will see corpses, skeletons. It is just simple madness. And they do, we see a lot of rituals. They do a lot of human rituals within those areas. So it is much, and that's why it's important for us to be able to follow up again the leadership, especially this Simon Ekpa that is in Finland. That is causing this a lot of problem by his comments. The federal government has taken that up with the Finnish government on the need to be able to curtail that, and then we're also following through the cyberspace to be able to address those issues. We are seeing people that are also sponsoring them. There are a lot of people that are sending funds to them. We are aware of that. We are profiling them at the right time. All of them will be picked. International organizations have, especially the US and the UN, are aware, and they are going after them. There are a lot of them in the US and Europe They are contributing money to what is going on in that place. And so all of them will be both within the local area. So like I said, it's basically acts of criminality. The people are, and then the issue of drugs. You know, this is why NDLA2 is doing a great job. We need to take drugs out of our youths, because that is aggravating what is ongoing on those general areas. But we are working very hard. Troops have gone back in again. We're clearing the whole area to ensure that we get them. So we want to encourage people. And of late, we have had some of them too that are also willing. They are tired. They are also saying that, look, they want to, you know, they want to come, but they have commanders that are making money. You know, this issue of money, that is what is actually, if you watch the entire country, all these issues of criminality rolls around money. People feel once they make money, they can get away with anything. And that's what was encouraging them to do. And so that's why it's important for us to encourage good governance. Because if local governments are working, for example, it makes it a lot easier. We also want to encourage the federal government for us to have a comprehensive census. If you go abroad, you commit an offense, it's 50-50 chance you'll be arrested. They're not using witchcraft. It's because they have data. We need to build that database. And if it is comprehensive, wherever you are, once you are cited or your signature is seen anywhere, it's easier to track who did this, where, and how. So that's why we want to encourage issues of things like having a comprehensive census for Nigeria, so that it will assist the security agencies in performing their work.
What is the extent of the Army's investigation of the killing of his officers and men in Okwama?
Okwama, yes, we have I think the report is just in. We're going through the report in Delhi. It's again acts of criminality. We have cultists, those guys are into sea piracy, into illegal oil bunkering. So they've been able to...
We can never allow them to breed in Biafra land. I see them sharing my video. I see them sharing my videos. Oh, someone is taking responsibility. And so what? We are at war. Do you think we see military in checkpoint? We go and start giving them pure water. Then we collect water. It's war. And I have said it. Musa have declared war. He call it jungle welfare. All these videos are evidences. In case any day they come tomorrow and say something like this, we have evidences that they have declared jungle welfare. And we are in guerrilla warfare. It is war. So kill me, I kill you. And when we kill them, and it is public, they start crying. Like I said, no military checkpoint is allowed in Biafra land. If your checkpoint, if you are still standing in a checkpoint today, don't worry, your day is coming. This is what I'm going to drop here. And the only way is that Nigeria must pay for all the killings of Biafra. We have everything documented. And I would like the media team, after this particular outing today, cut those particular annexes we have shared to almost every countries of the world, including the European Union, United Nations, and all that. They can avoid, trying to know about it. To all we care. Nobody is going to defend our land for us. It is us. They don't care. All they care is our oil. They care our natural resources. They care nothing about us. So we are going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that those who kill us before will never know peace in our land. Not why you are in our land. We will make sure we neutralize you anywhere you are until you leave. You are not welcome. Biafra has a government, and we even have two governments. The government in the homeland, what is called de facto government, completely functional, and the Biafra Republic government in exile. We will continue to defend ourselves under international law until the Biafra declaration and beyond that. I welcome all of you for supporting this liberation, and may God bless you.
Our leader.
Thank you, PM.
That one.
Oh, Guinea.